Welcome back. It's the Bald Bearded Bicyclist, and this is the Thursday Fireball series. It's a new series that the course is loosely based on well, not really loosely, but it's the Grand Island Sunday Series course, but it's just the last bit of it, which makes it a criterium style series that we're going to be doing every week here. And it's an A-B type series, not based on categories. I race with the A's, just a few points away from my Cat 3, and I did well in B's last year, so I kind of moved up, and it's just good to race against faster people. So here I am, and we've got a lot of numbers in this race, and Chicluna is really the only team we're looking at as competition here. We just want to try to stack the break. That's the plan. And you can see a lot of red here up at front. So there's actually 9 laps. That top right corner, it looks like, like I said, we in this little note here, we're started on lap 0, so there's 9 true laps. And Honcho takes off here, and I let him go, and that's going to force some of the guys at front to pick up a little chase. So we've got James and Tyler at the front who are going to start putting in a little bit of work, and Larry and Drew here are just going to let them go. Camera's looking good tonight. I put on the correct neutral density filter. Shows the speed well. Keep that in mind, because the next week, next video, here comes Suda on the right side with Rich in tow. And at this point, we all just kind of want to jump on there to, like I said, we want to stack a break. So if we got a lot of people going, we're going to bring it back. But yeah, the coming video for the Grand Island Sunday Series race is not going to look like this. I screwed up and it looks like crap. So try to remember this video and know the potential. I'm still trying to dial things in. So people were surging up there to close gaps, and I was a little late on that, so I'm spiking up to 1,000 watts. Not ideal. But we are now coming with speed, and the front is slowing down. And I'm thinking Larry is going to come onto the right side that's open here, and I think he's going to attack through. So I follow to try to block James, who's on my left here. And so I kind of stop in the middle to clog that lane, but Larry didn't attack, so I was kind of hanging out here to see if he was going to look back and maybe would go for it. And then Drew was seeing this from the back. He recognized the opportunity as well, so he tells me to kind of slide over and try to block James, but James is able to get through anyways. I should have held him a little bit tighter there. And Larry goes, and he gets caught in the middle a little bit. But again, smarter to stack that and make sure that we have more numbers in any break. So Rich is going to go, and Honcho follows. And I spike it up and then kind of realize that, we got a lot of red up there. I don't need to try to bring this back, so I pull over and let others fill in. And they're all working hard. I'm looking to get on the back of this pack. There's gaps all over. And I'm going almost 400, 600 something watts just to pick up my speed to try to get back on this little train here. So everybody's kind of hurting because there's nice big gaps there. Something I do want to try to work on is I'm in the draft, I'm carrying speed, I got 32 miles per hour. I got to carry that through. It would have been a little tight because obviously that car was coming, there's a yellow line rule, and Moose had pulled off. If he hadn't blocked that lane, it would have been a really good opportunity to maybe attack through, because we're going 25 now. So if I was carrying that 32 miles per hour through the front who was going 25, I would have been able to get a nice little attack without too much effort. There is still a little bit of a gap between, looks like, I don't know if it's Larry, Drew, and James, or if it's Honcho, somebody. It's hard to say who fell back to our pack, but there are 3 riders off the front, 2 in red, and so we're letting them do their thing. And Sam's doing work on the front, trying to get some help to bring them back. Moose attacks, and I see this. I'm in good position to jump on, so spike it up and try to get on his wheel as quickly as I possibly can. You can see my heart rate is jumping up into the 170s, and if it's in the 170s, I'm starting to hurt. But that wasn't too bad. It's early, and my heart rate is much more likely to get that high early in a race when I'm fresh than later. So it looks like it was Honcho. We got Drew here. Moose kind of looks back. He knows that, we got 3 project guys in this group. So if we do want to do work, it's kind of on us to try to keep things moving. And so we're going to bring up the speed a little bit and see what happens. So something I didn't think about enough during this race is you can see the shadows pretty well, especially on really only on this stretch, but I can see how many people are behind me. I can see if there's gaps without even having to turn around. So that's something I didn't use enough, and it's something I really should have, because something I want to work on, and you'll see it in this race that I didn't do a great job at it, was working on bringing up my power, my speed, before I actually see the person that I want to latch onto. If I see people are going, I need to start spinning it up and be able to drop right into that slot rather than there's a nice attack by Drew after everybody kind of slowed up a little bit, and that's going to force James to do a really hard move. We got these guys following, and then I'm going to kind of let people fill in a bit. But even there, like, had I brought up my speed a little bit more, I wouldn't have had to maybe surge to 700 and had this bit of a gap that I have to close. So even if I wasn't trying to follow Honcho's wheel, I could have brought up my speed on him and then let myself slowly drift back so that I could then slide over and grab onto Sam's wheel. So those are things I'm really working on, just being able to anticipate the moves and bring up my speed to match the group that I'm trying to get on before it comes to the point where I'm working harder than them to go faster and actually catch back on. Because if you're chasing, you're working harder, whereas if I'm falling back and then slotting in, I'm saving energy. So kind of a big goal for me this year to work on that. And again, the working on carrying speed and attacking through groups with minimal effort is something I really want to work on as well. So, we're pretty strung out here, and our speed is high. Something I should be thinking about is, should an opportunity arise, maybe I can attack through this group. But we got still gaps over there, and there's red jerseys on the other side of that gap. So the last thing you want to do is attack from the front and drag everyone with you. But with me being tucked away on the back here, you can carry a lot of speed, and that's how you want to bridge to a break without bringing everybody with you. So people are keeping the speed high right now. I'm not sure who's on the front, but they seem to be working. And Siri's trying to talk to me right now. Hopefully it didn't screw up my recording. So again, we've got a lot of speed here, and then they sit up. Watch the shadows in the back. I'm trying to carry my speed, so I just slid over, but I see Moose, and I don't think I was looking at his shadow. But again, had I seen his shadow, maybe I wouldn't have to hit 1,000 watts to get on. But I think I did a good job to snap as hard as I could to grab that wheel quicker rather than, if you wait and, or if you just like, say I snapped to 500 watts and was trying to hold that, it would have taken me a lot longer to get on his wheel and into the draft. I would have ended up doing a ton more work. But because I snapped to 1,000 and got his wheel, I'm now sitting in his draft and he's doing the rest of the work. And actually my heart rate was coming down by the time we got up to Honcho here. So if you can hear it, Larry is actually on my wheel. He's the only other person that was able to come with. And he says, we got 3 people in this group. I give him a thumbs up so that he knows that I heard him. I'm going to wait until after this turn, but I need to let Honcho know. I'll bleep that out. And so I say, let's roll. I go to the front here, and I'm like, Honcho, we got 3 people. Well, let's roll this. So, he's been solo, and I know he's probably a little bit more tired. So we're going to give him a break for a turn. Larry and I are going to bring that speed back up and see if we can get a break going here. So this is my first time ever in a real break that people are committed to and working on. I've been in a couple really short-lived breaks in Cat 4, and people usually don't work well together. They don't really fully commit, and having 3 of us on one team makes it pretty easy to really just kind of go for it and know that there's a possibility we can stay away. So it was really fun. I also knew that we've got Moose in here, and I know that he's not going to do any work. So I was just dropping right in onto Larry and knowing that he's not, which makes total sense. If you're the odd man out in a break like this, why are you going to do any work? You want this break to fail. So, he was smart and just stayed on the back, didn't take any pulls, and, we're doing our thing to try to make sure we get far enough away. But, what we maybe should have done better was after we secure a good amount of space from the rest of the group. And we have Drew in the back, that other group kind of messing things up and making sure that they don't work super well together to try to bring us back. So, we have a really good advantage here. But what we should have done is really been thinking, how can we make this go 1, 2, 3 project? And we'll see how it plays out. But I think at the end of the day, we worked more to make sure that Honcho could get first rather than how we could place the entire team best. And we just didn't, I personally just didn't do enough softening up of Moose, and that's, I think, what we should have been doing. When we have 3 against 1, we should just be hurting him at every opportunity. I dropped the wheel a little bit there. I'm not really sure why, but just getting to the groove, and I was starting near the end of this. I was feeling great and taking those corners well, and I think it's honestly just riding in Cat 4 so much. I've never really had wheels that I've truly trusted. So in every corner, I probably slow down unless I'm on the front. I slow down more than I have to, but riding with these guys was awesome because I knew they weren't gonna break in a corner, and made me super confident that I could ride close, stay in the draft, and you can see how much my power is affected in that draft during these pulls. So I'm maybe 200 watts third wheel, 200 to 250, and then in second wheel I was probably like 230 to 250, maybe a little bit spiking up a little bit into the 300s, but not too much. And then when I was on the front, I was trying to keep it over 300. So it's cool to see, how much that draft really does affect you. But you really got to be on the wheel. And in Cat 4, I know that I do more work than I have to, because oftentimes I just don't quite trust the wheel in front of me, so I leave a bit of a gap. So it's slowed down. Obviously that was sped up, but this is real time, and we got Honcho, who just comes up on the right side there, and we let him roll off. You can see the shadows. There was a little bit of gap, and then they lined up behind me, and I think it was still Moose on the back there, and you can see his shadow go, and you don't see me respond until now. So that's what I was saying before. Way late. I should have been responding when I saw his shadow slide over and get ready to go. It's just, it was so easy to see that shadow once I was looking at the video afterwards. And during the race, it's just, you're hurting, your mind's looking at a lot of other things and processing stuff, but that would have been a huge advantage to be seeing those and jumping on. And I know that this actually hurt both Larry and I, when really it should have only hurt Moose. And if we were quick to jump on his wheel, he would have just been giving us a free ride to get back up. But because we missed it, we also knew that we didn't want to ruin this chance at this 3-man breakaway. We had to do that work to get back up and make sure that we didn't screw up our own breakaway. So it was kind of a bummer we didn't hurt him more, take advantage of that opportunity. But now he's going to drop back to the back. So my heart rate's still at 170, but we could have attacked again. That's how you hurt somebody when they're the odd man out in the break. But here we're kind of planning. It's the second to last lap, and Honcho's telling me he wants me to pull on the whole backside. So I'm kind of preparing for that, and I'm gonna just give it everything I can on that whole backside. I think the plan is to keep the speed as high as possible and just consistent, so that we can't be attacked. If Moose can't attack over us early, then it's going to come down to a straight up sprint. And it took said it again. I promised that I wouldn't use real names there. That's not true. I'm going to have to bleep that out. So we are kind of preparing for this, and this is the turn. I'm going to start taking the front, and we really want to get Honcho to that last straightaway as fresh as possible. So he's going to sit in, and these aren't huge numbers, but for me, and this late in the race, it hurt, and you could see my heart rate is going to slowly climb. I was trying to keep it at 400. You can see some over that, but then I think it starts to drop near the end of this stretch. But it's funny that a stretch like this, it just seems to go on forever when you're trying to keep your power as high as possible for an extended period of time. I was like, my God, this straightaway won't end. So we are, again, I think maybe it was a little too early to start this lead out, and at the end of the day, it left me burning myself completely, left Honcho with only one lead out man late, which maybe it wasn't the right way to do it, but I went too hard there, and then I didn't bring the speed up again when I saw them pass. I should have kept my power up a little bit so I could get on, and I was too dead. And I think in my head I had just told myself, that I was just going to give it to the end, and that was the wrong thing to do. But Larry pulled hard for this stretch, and Honcho was able to start his sprint and take the win. And then Moose was able to get around Larry. Larry wasn't able to get on his wheel. So it was Honcho, Moose, Larry, and then I came in fourth. And then we had Drew, who broke away from the pack, and he went, I think, 4 laps solo. So he was able to take fifth. So to get 4 out of the top 5, that's pretty awesome. And we're really happy with the first showing of the Thursday night Fireball series. So make sure you're subscribed. Check that out. I've got the Sunday series races coming. So we'll have a bunch of racing videos this year with these probably weekly, and the Sunday series as well to fill in those gaps. So, all right, thanks a lot, and we'll see you on the next one.